Hello and welcome to Now That You're Married. My name is Liza Woli and today's topic is about those amazing or sometimes not so amazing in-laws. Our first guest is Olamide Adedeji.
Hi.
Hey ya! What's up? Olamide is the channel manager for Sound City, which is Africa's biggest music station.
Yes, we try.
So it's really great to have you there.
Try.
Here, it's really great to have you here.
Right back at you.
Our next guest is Mrs. Mobo Biobaku. She is the CEO of Mobo's Fashion, and she is just, as you can see, everything fashion extraordinaire. Really great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Our third and final guest, third but not the least, is Emmanuel Oparah.
Yeah.
You are a lead art director. You have situations where people actually, especially women, wish their in-law dead. They wish that, I want to marry a guy that his parents are
Gone.
You know, and that's because people say that in-laws sometimes change after marriage. So I'll start with Emmanuel. What are your experiences with in-laws and changing before you got married and then after?
One word, beautiful.
Okay.
Let me count myself fortunate to be one of the few that actually have the very beautiful experiences with in-laws. I've been blessed with like the best in-laws around.
You're not just saying that.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to say this because you're on some live show. No, honestly, I've been so blessed. And first things first, that's my mother-in-law right now. My father-in-law is late.
Okay.
She demystified the existence of in-laws. So she took me as my own mother, and I took her as my own mother, and she said, I'm a son to her. So she said it from the word go. She said, I know you're coming to my family, but I want to take you as a son, and you take me as a mother. You can look through my phone, and I send her messages. I'm like, hi mom, good morning mom. My mom is late as well, so I've given the sole ownership of momshipness to her. So I see myself as, okay, not the average guy who goes into a family and, okay, you want to keep that husband, mother-in-law relationship thing. Yeah. I just relate to her as beautiful as I can, and you still keep the bounds as the husband of the daughter. You still keep that fresh, so she respects that as well. But good as it is, it's been beautiful.
That's good. Really, really beautiful.
It's been beautiful.
And I'm coming to you, Oladeji. So what's your experience?
Well, I mean, so far so good. Very similar to what he has shared too. I have an amazing mother-in-law. I have an amazing father-in-law too. I knew them about 4 years ago. Officially met them 4 years ago. Because I've been dating my wife for a long time before we got married. But other than that, we have an amazing relationship. It's very cordial. I mean, once you respect your boundaries, really, you know, and you fulfill the contract you've signed with your daughter, it makes life really, really easy. And outside all of that, I don't think we've had any issue at any point at all.
In those 4 years?
So far.
Mobo, so what has your experience been with your in-laws?
Very similar to Emmanuel and Oladeji.
Olamide.
Sorry. I'll talk about my mom-in-law of late memory now. She was really, really a great woman. You know, meeting someone for the first time and she says, you're not my daughter-in-law. If I can say it in Yoruba, they go, oh, she know me, like you're not an in-law to me, you're my daughter. She didn't say that immediately I met her, but I think she said that like a few years into my marriage, we had a cordial relationship, you know. You have to be very diplomatic with in-laws. I always say that. You know, people feel getting into a marriage, you have to just hit it off. I don't believe that. I've known my mom all my life. There's some things I can do to my mom and she'll go, not a big deal. I can't do that with my mother-in-law. It's a new relationship and we're starting to get to know each other, so there has to be boundaries. So of course with time, she realizes that this girl is a fantastic person, and also I'll realize eventually as well that she's a great person. So it's a relationship. So I was able to build a fantastic relationship with my mom-in-law, and I I'm blessed. I was blessed to have her as a mom-in-law.
Interesting. Yeah. Very, very interesting. I want to take this in two folds. Firstly, how much should in-laws be involved in the marriage? So what leeway do you give them? And then secondly, when is it appropriate to invite them? At what stage do you say, because we all argue with our spouses, that one, okay, I know definitely. At what stage do you say, my in-law came in, my mom or his mom, or vice versa? So I'll start with Emmanuel again.
As long as I'm concerned, in-laws should have the most minimal involvement as possible, because the marriage institution remains between the man and his wife. And like Olamide just said, once you have a good relationship with in-laws, it doesn't get mechanical anymore. I mean, they just the way you relate to your mom, relate to your dad, it's the way I see it as well. And then I think that's at that point, you don't see the intrusion as interferences anymore. You see them as just airing their own view. And then that's how you be the man. You now decide finally, because it's your own family, if this view should stand or if it's permissible.
What do you call minimal involvement?
Regular, I'm come to say hi to you guys. What have you guys decided? First things first, underline the word, what have you guys decided? She has an input, but what have you guys decided? So there's some in-laws that actually would lord themselves and then just over the couple and then intend that, okay, you guys just see it through. Make it happen, execute it. But in-laws that are kind enough, that are good enough, are the ones who say, what have you guys decided?
Nice one, nice one.
That was it.
I mean, just kind of going back and honing in, before I come to you, Mrs. Biobako, honing in on the topic, which is how much involvement should, the in-laws have in your marriage. This is trivial, but I've heard of situations where, something happens and the guy picks up the phone and he's actually like, I'll give you a classic example. He's actually like, hello, mom, I just want to say that, stop calling my fiance or stop calling my wife because she's complained, blah, blah, blah.
I believe that marriage is between two people. The man and the woman. We have to be specific here. The man and the woman. Yes, we love our parents, and they truly, truly love us. But at the same time, I honestly believe that we need to be wise. We need wisdom in everything we do. Yes, the lady is putting the guy under pressure because the mom was always calling her. But at the same time, I don't think it was wise for the guy to call the woman and the mom and just lash out. What do you expect? She's already in her bad books. Like, and probably she was just trying to help. What I've learned in marriage is parents do what they do out of love, but we receive it otherwise sometimes. So we need to understand that I have 2 kids, for example, and I always say it, I've got 2 boys. There is nothing I will not do for my boys if it is in their best interest. And I always pray that I'll have daughters that will love me. Because if I want something, hey, I want it. And they might tell me the fussy, the domineering mother-in-law. I think you get to a point in life when you have kids, you now tend to see from the view of the parent. So I feel you should have handled it in a better way.
So for you, how much should a mother-in-law, father-in-law be involved? How much should they be involved?
Not too much.
What do you term as not too much?
Okay, if they have issues and both of you have agreed to talk to either of the parents, fine. I don't think if I have a problem, my mother-in-law or my mom should be the first person I'll call.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. I hear, especially in African culture, people say we get married the way we get married. It's so extravagant. The bride price is paid so that there's so many people that are in the marriage with you. This is what I've heard. There's so many people, and if anything goes wrong, he married a lot of people. So he has a lot of people to
marry
answer
the
to.
family.
You marry the
basically.
family.
Yeah.
What do you say, Olamide, on that?
I'll speak from my own, the way I live my life. In terms of involvement of my in-laws, I won't say that I keep it at the barest minimum. I speak to them like I speak to my friend, it might be a very modernist approach to the way I live life. I don't try to say, oh, this is the boundary, this is the most important thing is I know there's mutual respect. I respect you, you respect me, and there are some things that I would say that we silently agreed on just before I got married to my wife.
What sort of things?
Things like, for instance, when I was dating their daughter, there's a certain time I could come to the house. So there are like tiny things like that you respect. And so even when we got married, they transformed into that. I wouldn't go to their house when I shouldn't be there. I would probably, if I need an advice on something that has to do with my own personal life, I'll call them just to seek their opinion and all of that. Sometimes when the daughter misbehaves, I try to deal with it in my house.
Has there been a need to
okay, so very early into the marriage, there was a point where, there were certain things I didn't understand. Like and it was because my mom is late, so I couldn't speak to someone who was much more older. But interestingly, my wife, she has a lot of uncles and aunties and people there. So I would always, and there are people that I'm very cool with. That these are even uncles that are like social media uncles. There are uncles you can hit up on BBM and say, hey uncle, and they'll give you an instant advice, or you drink together, or you chill together.
But you wouldn't hit them up on BB for something as important as your relationship?
Honestly, I'm not that kind of hard guy that goes.
Have you ever had to?
I'll talk to them on BBM.
No, have you ever had to discuss something concerning you and your wife?
Not necessarily.
With an older party, with the mom, with
Maybe
an uncle?
Maybe not necessarily. It has never gotten to that level.
It's never
really, it has never gotten to that level.
Miss-
Anything I don't solve in my house with my wife, then
So should it ever get to that level?
I don't think you'll ever get to that level unless unless it's such a heinous crime that we can't solve it between each other.
Okay.
But outside that, I don't think you'll ever get to that level.
Okay.
I don't see that happening.
You say that
So
at
far, so
8 months. Is it 8 months or 18
8 months.
8 months.
Yeah.
Okay. At 15 years, is there ever a time that you need to invite someone older?
Parents or anyone?
Anyone older? In-law, uncles, aunts, friends?
I have never. And not because I'm perfect, but we just have a way of dealing with the issues, whatever issues we have. And I don't believe that, they always tell you that don't invite people into your relationship. I don't believe that, because when they kill you, sometimes you need people. So I wouldn't say that's to the extreme. Don't tell people about your relationship.
So do you discuss your relationship?
Yes, I do.
With your friends?
Yes, I can discuss
This
with my
happened,
friends.
what do you
Yes,
think?
But trusted friends. So when you say friends, you have to be careful. Your acquaintances are different from your friends. So the friends that you really do trust.
Have you ever felt the need to tell your mom something that happened?
No. And why? I've not really had a very bad case. But I always say that if, for example, I have a very, very bad case, I won't go to my mom. I'll look for a counselor. If I go to my mom, it's easy for me to forgive my husband. My mother loves me so much. Do you think she'll ever forgive me?
She'll be resentful.
She'll say,
Perhaps.
okay. And you'll be telling her, it's over now. She'll say, it is over. I know my
But he
mom.
did this to you.
In fact,
Interesting.
for life.
There will be a black mark.
There will be a black mark, I know. So we have to be very careful.
Yeah.
I would rather go and meet a
total stranger.
A neutral person, but someone I trust, not a stranger.
Maybe a counselor, a church.
Counselor, exactly, You go and meet them and discuss your issues and let them find a way to solve it. I don't think I'll go to my mom to say, oh, he did this, he did it. But sometimes it's necessary because, this marriage thing is a journey and it's tough. Let's say the truth, it is very tough. So sometimes if you don't cry to your parents, you can die there. If there's nobody to
I guess
talk
you
to.
weigh out.
Exactly.
Weigh out. So out of our 3 guests, 2 out, 2 down, no parents involved. Okay, it's very interesting that you guys say all of this. want to speak to you guys about marriage and the need to understand the place of in-laws. Is it important to actually understand the place of in-laws? And I actually want to link that back to what sort of in-laws you guys think you would be. So let me start with Olamide.
Well, the thing is, I'm a very, very playful person. I think that will probably follow me to my old age. I'm that kind of guy that will probably call up my son-in-law and be like, yo, man, let's go to IB for the next weekend. What are you doing? Yeah. I don't see myself as that kind of stuck-up in-law that I'm like, no, treat my daughter this way. We'll probably commit all the crimes we need to commit together, so to speak. We'll probably, you know, do all of those great stuff together, probably go into business together and all of that. I honestly feel with the age of the internet now and the way the world is going and all of that, in-laws do not necessarily need to be stuck up with anything anymore, you know? Just try to mutually grow with your son-in-law. I mean...
So when he comes, you're not going to give him that grill? You know,
I mean,
there's
the first
grill
time,
that you give
no,
them.
before he gets married to my daughter, of course, I'm going to do all that parental grilling and stuff. But once I'm cool with him, I'll be like, yo, man, let's go out with the Porsche or go out with the Ferrari.
Okay.
I don't see myself. I honestly, and I tell my wife this all the time, I honestly do not see myself as that father-in-law that will become, I don't know.
You know, in our culture,
Yeah.
the girl now becomes the man's property and pretty much does things more with the man, really. Will you be cool with that?
I'll be fine.
Your daughter?
That's her business.
So she should...
It's not my problem.
Okay. I'm getting married tomorrow, for instance.
Yeah.
What do I need to know about my in-laws?
About your in-laws?
About dealing with in-laws.
Dealing with in-laws, patience. Very, very important. It's required. Actually, patience is required in marriage to start with. And then it's an extension of that patience that you use in dealing with your in-laws.
What do you think are great icebreakers? How do you become cool with your in-laws?
How do you become cool? You know what he likes. You know what she likes. Like my father-in-law, for instance, he likes drinking wine. Because of him. He likes playing golf. Because of him, I started playing golf.
Nice.
You know, he likes traveling. We spoke about destinations we want to explore, places we want to go together. You know, so I tried as much as possible to know the things he likes. And then, so half of the time when we are sitting together, either we're watching the golf channel or something, we're talking about golf players, we're talking about
So no
wine.
matter how boring it is,
You just have to learn it. You just have to.
nice one.
That
Thank you.
way you have a conversation and it makes sense.
Thank you, Olamide. Thank you for sharing this. Mrs. Biobako.
The place of in-laws.
Yes.
There's a place. I won't say there's no place. There's a place. But we just have to be careful what and what we tell them. Of course, they want to know what's happening to you. My mom was always saying, when are you moving to your new home? She will call my husband. When are you building? These kids are growing now. When they start going to university, you won't have money to build again. They suck all your money, they suck you dry. I'm thinking, take a break. But my husband is really very calm. It's just a mommy. Don't worry. We will. Because at a point I thought, why are you putting this guy under pressure? Just wait, we will. Because she always says, you know, property is the first thing you should get. Like even if you're drinking Gary in your home, nobody will know. At least you're not running around for looking for rent. So it was like, she was putting him under pressure. But she would just speak because of the love.
How did you deal with that? So he says it, Mommy, don't worry.
Mommy, don't worry.
What do you say?
I say, Mommy, don't worry. But what's the... That is getting too much. Leave it, we'll do it. You need to be careful.
You're a woman with 2 sons. When you had your children, how involved were your in-laws?
I didn't have my first son, I didn't have him in Nigeria. So for me, by the time I got back, I think my son was about April, May, June, like 2 months. Yeah. So my mom-in-law came. When my husband told me she was going to come, I said, for what? Hello? What's she coming to do? Yeah. She said, but she wants to come now, let her come. I said, okay, let her come. So she came. By the time my mom-in-law came. I was about to go out one day. I said, Mobo, where are you going to? You shouldn't be going out. Oh. You should still wait at home. I said, I said, mommy, please. Angela is over 2 months. I'll stay at home doing what? I said, mommy, please.
Here's the baby.
Here's the baby. I'm coming. I left. Because I just thought, hey, we're here to take care of the baby.
But of course, you brought her into
baby.
the home, so
Yes.
that means you've given her an
Yes.
opinion,
Oh,
right?
yes. I have to bring her in. She's my mom as well. She's big as a mom.
So if she's in, she's not allowed an opinion,
She is allowed. Definitely she is allowed.
but then you counter.
You can counter. You can counter, but you counter wisely.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that. Thank you. Now, Emmanuel, we're coming to you. I want to pose this question to you. It's the same question. The place of in-laws.
Thank you so much. I go back to the first things I said. I would be the one person I would like to take away in-law from this entire thing. She's a mother to me. That's how I look at it. And so when people from the outside say things about, don't you think that, blah, 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 I just chill. I can be very funny. I just look at you and I'm like, are you done? I keep saying that being male is a matter of birth, yeah? But being a man is a matter of choice. You always have to have a hold on everything around you. A misbehaving wife, a forgiving wife, a beautiful wife, whichever way it transcends to be, you are the person at the center of everything. If the man has a mental frame that's very, very solid, your parents or your mother-in-law can also say it. So then you know that, okay, you know what, whatever issues within your family, you can always handle it. My mother-in-law never gives me such intrusions or interference and stuff, but her opinions and everything are always welcome. She's been a pillar of support. She's been a very good friend. I'm the one who actually holds back, honestly. She's been all out. She goes to Italy every now and then. She buys me shirts. She buys me.
Why do you hold back?
What? Because okay, that's a personal thing. Because growing up, even in my own space, I am someone that never likes to bother anybody. I can take it back in time. My father could buy me this, but I'd rather just hustle my way through, get my own money, do this. I'd never like to bother anyone. So I think that's followed me all the way so much that even when people actually want to do stuff, I'm like, don't worry yourself, it's okay. But guess what? She doesn't even look at that. She just
Do you think
does.
that, not your mother-in-law, but mother-in-laws in general, do you think perhaps if you're married into a wealthy family, do you think there would be a situation where they could help even financially?
I don't ask. I never ask. I don't.
Is
But
it
guess
ever
what?
right? Is it ever okay?
If she decides to do that, yeah, don't repel. Don't repel. It's a good gift. It's not supposed to be repelled. Just let it be. I don't ask, but when she does it, I let it be. She went to Israel that they bought me good sandals. She got to Italy, bought me
that's
this.
different.
I mean, everything. Even monetary sometimes, she's just like, I want to give you guys this and that. But we never get to ask because thank God for God. We've been very fortunate to be very okay with ourselves. Myself and my wife, we're good. I think we're well balanced. We're chilling.
Nice.
We're chilling. But when she decides to do that, and then she's someone who actually has a spirit of discernment. So she doesn't just do stuff out of, I'm trying to show you guys that I can give you guys stuff. Yeah. She's a very lovely person. I look at it that way. Like when people have issues with their mother-in-law, I just chill. I don't like to talk, so you don't feel you're being too. I just say I'm blessed. I'm fortunate.
Nice one. And you're blessed with a daughter.
Amazing daughter.
How old is she?
4 months now.
Aww.
Yeah.
What sort of father-in-law will you be?
Man, I'll be rolling with this guy. Chilling. No time, man. Once I do the initial drilling, and then he is good to go. Everything. The same way I was done. Sometimes she gives me some business interest. Honestly, she calls me like, I have this stuff for you. I think your agency or your guys can actually handle this. And I do it. And that's how it's been. She does everything she can do to make us comfortable.
Similar.
And guess what? I put in extra effort to make sure nothing goes wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, we need to respect ourselves as well. Because you don't want to just because she's an in-law and then start taking things for granted as well. Respect ourselves, we love, we communicate. She's in Italy right now. She's sending pictures of her chilling and stuff.
Nice.
We're that close. I'm the one who's just like, okay, I don't like bothering people, but she's been very fantastic.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you. Now, quickly, guys, I just want to have an opinion on this. How do you deal with nosy in-laws? Okay, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
You have a situation where the mother-in-law is saying, your mother-in-law is saying, when's the baby coming? It's been 8 months. I want the both of you to go and take fertility tests. Maybe there's something wrong with either part. She's even saying her daughter too. And you, response?
And my response is, Mom, we're not ready. We're still enjoying our marriage. It's always been that.
Oh, you guys should try now. 8
Mommy,
months is long.
school fees now is very expensive, Mom. We're saving up. But the thing is, things like that, I really do not think she's being nosy, to be honest. I think she just wants a better well-being for the kids, you know.
So you just reassure her.
But I would say nosy people who want to know, you know, stuff about your life, not necessarily the best or the good stuff about your life. They just want to know about, you know. And I think the thing to do is just to ignore them. You know, people will always be nosy anyways. I mean, friends will always be nosy and all of that. People want to know what's up with your relationship, but you just have to lock them out.
Thank you. Manuel?
For the nosy ones, just shut them out. It's very simple. But my agreement still stands. The institution of marriage, the man and the wife. Once you guys are at peace with each other, you guys are in tandem, the chemistry is awesome. You protect each other's interest. He, from the other side, comes to know what's going on. Don't worry, it's between... The only time you reach out, like she said earlier, is when things actually get totally bad. Then you have to just... But aside from that, both of you, just keep it locked and shut everyone out and be happy.
Nice one. Thank you. Spielbacker.
Always be in sync. Once you are, everybody else is secondary, really. You two are the most important in this equation. So whatever you say is what stands. So if I have a nosy in-law, yeah, sometimes they're nosy and you have to give them an answer. What do? You say, shut up, it's not your business. You have to say something to them. So tell them something.
Politically correct.
Tell them. And they leave you. They'll let you be. You want to know when the kids are coming? Very soon, mommy. We're praying about it. Or, well, okay, no, I used to tell my mom. She says, I say, mommy, go and pray about it. So go and pray about it. I've given you an assignment. When you have an answer, come and tell me. So we're both in this together. We're waiting together.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. This has been such an interesting topic. I've learned so much. I've learned that it's all about open communication, open heart, open mind. And I've also learned that not one glove fits all. Because we've got to deal with each different situation, each different in-law differently. Thank you so much for tuning in.